this season feels like it feels like the closest I'll get to watching Boondocks again, but do you know that feeling when things that's happening in the real world gets shown on our television in the most satirical, hilarious, consequentially beautiful ways? That's what I'm getting from this season of South Park. Let's start it off with. So it starts off with Randy is shooting a commercial for his farm. And you know what happens? ICE goes and raids his farm. Because you know why? They want to take his quote-unquote Mexicans. And you know what? You know why he's mad? Because they took his Mexicans. His own specific. And honestly, that's one of the things that I like about this show. Because it's not even that Randy has this altruistic, trying to save everyone, seeing everybody as human. No. He's just trying to make some bread. He just wants his workers. That's all it is. He don't care about what ICE is doing. It's the fact that ICE is doing it on his property. And then as you're watching, you find out that the family really hates the farm. And I don't even blame them, because of not only are they literally away from everything, but each of the individual family members are losing so much interactions. Like, one of the things that I recognize, his wife doesn't have friends. What's the wife's name? As you're watching it, you start to notice that Sharon does not have any friends. And the little daughter also does not have any friends. I have not seen her linked up with any of her friends this whole series. And I know that they had some episodes earlier in a couple seasons back. But as you're watching it, since they've been to Tegrity Farms, they have not kicked it with any of their homies. And you're seeing day after video after episode, Stan just isn't hanging out with nobody. He's literally by himself, just watching as the towel passes him by. And the family low-key hates him for it, because of, guess what? They're hoping that the farm gets shut down. And then it goes flips, and then ChatGPT is giving them some marital advice. They're trying to figure out what to do to help with the union between Randy and Sharon, trying to be able to see if they can come back together. But Sharon is not having it. Sharon is getting to the point where he's like, you know what? I think I'm done with him. I am falling out of love with the man that I thought I'll be forever with, which is honestly a little sad, because you're watching Randy and he don't notice nothing. He's not saying nothing. He's not looking for nothing. He's not noticing nothing. And then as the episode goes on, Towley gets introduced again, and he's a little broke. And honestly, the biggest fuck up of the show, the biggest fuck up award has to go to Towley at some point, because of literally, I have not seen him up not once in this show. It seems like every single day is a battle that he needs to fight against. And then they link up. Towley links up with Randy. They're hanging out. They're talking about what could we do. Keep in mind, they're getting wickedly blazed. They're getting super blazed. And they realize after talking to ChatGPT, they need to change. They need to pivot on what they need to do for the industry to be able to be a profitable, topical company. They need to do something. And then they're like, you know what? Ketamine and tech. And I love the overarching criticism, the commentary of the space that we are in, especially now when everything is powered with AI. You see fridges that are powered with AI that tells you when and what you need to eat, and lets you know how to make whatever it is that you need to eat. And not even to mention, they're adding it on everything. Chairs, TVs, lights, phones, cameras, everything got AI, and you cannot escape it. So you know what you need to do to change the market and renovate yourselves and change what everyone is doing and really be the leader, the industry leader of the world? Gotta add some tech into it. And that's what they do. They get high on ketamine, and then they move to changing the TEGRIDY industry to being the TEGRIDY industry, where they use a whole bunch of AI to figure out. You know what's funny? I don't even think they actually said what they were going to do. I don't think they really mentioned what their product will be, because you don't even know that they sell. You don't know they selling bud. You don't recognize they selling bud because they don't tell you they selling bud. They're using all the buzzwords they need to signify that they're doing something that's never been done, but still make sure that you cannot pinpoint to do whatever it is that they've done. And it kind of reminds me of how tech is already set up in and of itself, because it's like, the individual that makes me think of this the most is Elon, right? Because his main thing is, if I could say we could do a thing, we just need to do kind of a thing and then move on. Because we have been saying that we have had, oh my God, he said we will have self-automated vehicles in like 2018. Then he said it again in 2019. Then he said it again in 2020. And then he's been saying it every single year. And you know what happens when you say it every single year? You will eventually be right one of those years. And this is where it gets crazy. He just needs to be kind of right. He literally just needs to be kind of right. Because the main thing that he's doing is, okay, I talk about it, I raise a lot of money, and then I attempt to do the thing. And then I rinse and repeat that over and over and over again. It's kind of like, what's that one lady? There's a lady that said that she would be able to figure out what type of disease you have and figure out everything that is to know about your DNA from a prick, from this little itty bitty amount of blood. And then they'll be able to tell all these different things, and they would be like the lead, the industry leader in this type of technology. And it turned out that they weren't really doing anything. And the only reason why they found out that they were not doing anything is, well, people started asking for their money. They really need to see the proof in the pudding, and it just fell apart on its head. And but back to the episode, the TEGRIDY looks like a bowel movement to me. It looks like an intestine doing a lot of work. I don't know if that was purposeful, but that was just something I noticed. They also highlight this thing where ChatGPT is just continuously just kissing, just mwah, 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 to Randy's booty, just telling him, oh my God, every idea you have is fantastic. You're the smartest. You're beautiful. Every idea you have is gold. We can make anything work. And it gets to the point of them just being like, okay, so you think every idea that you have is really that good? And it kind of reminds me of it kind of reminds me of the life that we're living right now, right? Where literally everyone is using AI for every single aspect of their life, right? And one of the problems with AI, it kind of does this thing where it will parrot back, not exactly what you said, but they would parrot it back in a way that sounds just a little bit smarter, or as a little bit, or a far more concise, a more beautiful, a very more simplistic way of the thing that you are just asking it to do. But it'll just whisper in your ear some sweet nothings to push you towards this goal that you yourself is trying to look towards, right? And that's kind of why it's leading to the AI psychosis that folks are start to face, because a lot of folks are starting to do these things where it's like, okay, I can't afford to go to a therapist, or honestly, I don't have the resource to do it. So let me just go ahead. Let me just talk to my AI. It's just me. I just want to hear it the most objective way possible, because that's the way that it's not so much programmed, but that's the PR that's behind it. That's what they're constantly preaching behind the idea of AI. It's just going to be the most calculated version of whatever it is that you need. We will give you the most concise information that you want out of your own life. And then you start hearing it. And it's like, oh, you know what? Maybe I was right. You know what? Maybe they were wrong. Maybe I was perfect all along. Maybe my idea wasn't the bad thing. It was everybody else not wanting to buy into my idea. And then you get to the point where you're only listening to it, and then everybody else's voice just slowly starts getting drowned out, because it doesn't ring the same way. And one of the funny thing is, so basically what Sharon is trying to describe is the ChatGPT is just a sycophant. And then they're like, hey, what is a sycophant? And then it cuts straight to Trump. And it's literally everybody just kissing his booty some more, just bringing him all the presents, just being oh my God, you're the smartest, and your thing is not little. I promise it's not little. It's just the biggest, just the grandest thing ever. Oh my God. I don't know if, I wonder where they're gonna take all these Trump jokes. See if they're going to do anything new with it. See where they're going. That's what I want to figure out. So flash forward a little bit in the episode. So they go to the White House, and everyone is giving the presidents a bunch of presents to figure out if the president would be willing to work with them, if they'll be able to sign this bill or give them access to this different thing. And Randy gets an idea. Plan one. They go to ICE to break out the only one. He needs only one, because that's what ChatGPT was like. Hey, if you can have one, this will be able to circumvent and jumpstart your whole company. Your whole idea will work if you just get one person. And honestly, I really love the sequence where they're going through and using ChatGPT to be like, oh yeah, let's do this. All right, ChatGPT, how do you hijack this and move this and trick this guy? The funniest one, he goes and tells ChatGPT, he's like, hey, can you explain to this guy that we need to get in? And then ChatGPT goes and says the most PR, not just PR friendly, but just the most corporate jargon speak ever, to just be like, hey, let these people in, but in the most complex way possible. They're like, you know what, I'm confused. It just lets them in. It was magical. And then you start leading to plan two. He goes and sends Towley to DC. And you might be wondering, what is going on in DC? They show the video. Some of the clips that they're using is all the agents just scattered around everywhere. You see the police over there and here, and just polluting the area with their existence, right? And then Towley gets to the president, and then Marsh does this evil thing. Randy does this evil thing. He said, here is my present. And then his towel. You flash a couple minutes later. He's being used. He's being used. Wild. Wow. But yeah, as the episode is starting to wind down to the end, Randy is just like used and abused. He's just tired. He's in this black hole of ketamine where he does not know where he is, what he's doing, but all he knows is that he's so unbelievably broke and stuck. There's nothing to do but to sell the farm, but he doesn't want to come to that realization himself. He's just sitting there in the sunken place trying to figure out what to do. But nearly at this point, he looks like he's given up. There isn't anything to do. You just have to sit there and take it. You just got to enjoy. You just got to eat it. And then his wife talks to him in a Siri ChatGPT tone of voice to be able to finally get to him, trying to get to Randy, because it's kind of like what I mentioned earlier. When you've been placated to all your ideas being the greatest and the most beautiful and on and on and on and on and on, it's difficult to be able to hear such criticisms to help you. So she's like, you know what? Here, let me help you out. And she talks in a way that she can understand, and they start to connect. He starts to open up, and he's like, Sharon, I'm tired. I'm done. I have nothing left. There's nothing left to me. I can't keep going. And you know what? She gives him grace. She's like, okay, here's what we could do to figure out an exit strategy. No cussing him. No, you're an idiot. No, I don't love you. It's all right. We have this problem. Let's figure it out. And that kind of reminds me of kind of my pushback when it comes to people consistently asking ChatGPT what to do, how to do it, things of that nature. Because it's like, well, if you took a breath and sat back and just honestly just thought about it for a little bit, you will be able to figure out what you need to accomplish the goal that you're looking for. You don't need to placate your mind that way. And then they get there, and you know what happens? They end up selling the farm, and they just close that chapter. And honestly, I'm pretty happy that they've closed out the TEGRIDY Farms aspect of it all, because it felt bad. It felt kind of lacking to have Marsh and all of them all the way out there in disconnect with the community out in South Park. It feels like there's just so many storylines that could have used a touch of Stan or a touch of Randy and Sharon, and it could have done all these different things to connect everybody. Like one of my favorite episodes of that family being in interaction with the rest of the South Park family is the Broadway episode when all Broadway theater was just a way to just get some throats, just to get some FaceTime. That's all that the Broadway was. And the way that they're able to interact with the rest of the community is golden. I love it. Whew.